Time for our players-only segment. Adam Hogue alongside Corey Wootton and Lance Briggs. Jerry Zuma not with us today because he was at the game in Minnesota.
Probably screaming.
Yeah,
at the end.
I would hope so.
Taking selfies with some Vikings fans.
You think so?
Oh, Skull guys? Well, how about you bear down?
Yes, that was what I was thinking.
Exactly, right?
Briggs, kind of a roller coaster today. What did you think?
I think first and foremost, it's good to do our critique after a Bears win. With that being said, I think there's a lot of things that we need to clean up. And, the first thing is going to go to Caleb, but even outside of the bad throws from Caleb, there were very good throws that were drops. These drops are starting to become worrisome for me because we're seeing it on a weekly basis. And, heck, even one of the catches that DJ made, he almost dropped it.
Yeah,
they're catching it with their chest.
They're catching it with their chest. Use your doggone hands. You have one job, okay? You have one job when that ball is thrown to you, and that's to catch it. Catch it first. So that's a little concerning for me. We continue to do a good job running the ball. So that I was very happy about. Some of Ben Johnson, some of his calls today were questionable. I know in Ben we trust. However, there were still some. You still get criticized too, buddy. Okay, throwing the ball 3 times, and when you should be trying to run the ball just to give it back with them still having 3 timeouts, not smart. Exactly. I'm sure he'll reevaluate himself and he'll get better, but that's our job.
What were your thoughts in the red zone? It was 3rd and short, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and there's another 3rd and 3 where he kind of abandoned the run game after they were running so well. Like in that situation, I'm thinking, hey, this is 2-down territory with how good they've been running the ball. Is that same thought? For you?
100%. But you and I have been in this league long enough to know, sometimes offensive coordinators they're so smart they outthink themselves.
They get too cute.
They get too cute and they outthink themselves, and they're sometimes it's like, man, I really want to get the ball to Colston right now, or I think this guy really deserves the ball, or whatever. I think theoretically this play should work. When everything leads to, why don't we just run the ball and get it in there? Let's just stop playing around and let's get the ball in there.
Exactly. Yeah, I think some of these coaches get too cute, and I think that's what you saw from Ben Johnson. But what did you think from the quarterback as a whole, Caleb?
I think he's developing a real nickname, becoming the magician. His ability to evade pass rushers it's pretty incredible. Each week I'm like, he's really lucky to do that. But now he's doing it on a consistent level that it's like, whoa, this guy is really good at this. I think that is one tool that will help the Bears in the future win a championship. I think that's a tool. However, right now, sometimes he's doing it maybe unnecessarily, and it's turning into and the other thing that really rose its head today is, after saying he was on the money a week ago, he's back. He's back to the overthrows. Doggone it, and those throws are important. But it's not just that, Again, like I said, there were throws that were on the money.
They got to catch,
and they didn't catch it. Mm-hmm. So you take your 3 bad throws, because I saw at least 3 bad throws in the first half, and then you have 3 drops from your receivers. That's 6 missed opportunities.
Exactly. There's too many times where the ball is hitting their chest.
Yeah.
Like we are playing pro football here. Yeah. That shouldn't happen. Yeah. Right? Maybe if there's one that came out hot that they're too close to you, maybe it was a situation like that. But that happened 4 or 5 times today where people are catching it with their chest. You can't do that.
And I still think there's obviously a lot of room for improvement. Obviously, the deep ball, sometimes it just seems like he's just sort of like throwing up a prayer rather than actually delivering a pass.
Exactly. There was a lob pass.
Yeah.
That it's the biggest head scratcher for me, because it's about 10 yards from you and it's just a lob pass.
Yeah.
How do you overthrow the lob pass? Good Lord. It's one of those deals, man.
But I also think it's important, it's obviously based on more than just today, but I think today was a good snapshot of like if you're in Minnesota doing the show right now, you're probably worried about JJ McCarthy.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's nobody should be worried about Caleb right now. We're just wondering, like, in this process of learning a new offense, learning these weapons, getting more help from these weapons, like, is it going to actually click the way everybody wants it to for a number 1 overall pick?
Yeah.
Lance, I always like how you bring that expectation up because that does matter.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this isn't to make excuses, but it could be a lot worse. Because right now, if I was doing a Viking show, I would be worried about J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, well, they're getting what where they drafted. You know, J.J. McCarthy was the quarterback of the number 1 running team in the college football. Not the number 1 passing team, the number 1 running football team in college football. So he wasn't asked to win the games with his arms. You know, now you get into a situation in the NFL where the talent level is even greater than what you were facing, and you're saying, win the game with my arm. That's not what you drafted me for.
That's true. I feel like it's an unrealistic expectation for him. He would average, like, what, sometimes 15 to 17 passing attempts a game?
Yeah.
And you're like, you can't expect that. So this is truly his rookie year.
Yeah.
Like, he flashes sometimes where you're like, whoa, okay, he's making the throws. But I think it's not consistent. And you saw Josh McCown on the sideline with him, like, take a deep breath, like trying to calm him down, and you're like, whoa, okay.
The way they're all handling him, you know, and Justin Jefferson, all of them are trying to keep him positive and confident and all that good stuff. He's got the right coach to help him come along. It's a process, but I think, you know, they have to be very patient with him.
All right, we got more coming up brick by brick. Before we let you go, though, and get ready for brick by brick, I just quickly on the defense. For a lot of this game, the Vikings only had 3 points.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the defensive performance?
It should have stayed at 3 points. You know, that drive all the way down the field, you know, was unbecoming of the defense or the defensive day. So, you know, I mean, outside of that, you know, when you look at the numbers, I think they had about 320 yards. You know, it wasn't crazy numbers, and they were very close to hitting their marks on passing and rushing. But we were playing against a kid that we were just talking about that we're saying this quarterback has concerns. J.J. McCarthy has concerns amongst their fans, their organization, and their team. That's not going to be the case as we move forward.